Welcome back to Rodu. I'm Rob Dulaban, and today we're here for our third and final installment of our series, Yoga for Ultimate Athletes. Kate from Yoga Factory here in Pittsburgh is back to lead us through movements, and today we're targeting those knees and ankles. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Kate. I'm back again. We're going to do a sequence for knees and ankles. While we're going to specifically target knees, it also is going to be a lot of total body too. It's going to be some strengthening, and it's going to be good. So we're going to start with awkward pose, Utkatasana. So you start with, you'll step right foot out. It's about hip width distance. So heels under hips, creating that good alignment of your bones, and you'll bring heels behind your toes. So it's going to feel a little awkward because tendency is to let the feet go out and just stand like this. But with this good alignment, you're going to start to target the fronts of the legs. Bring your arms up parallel to the floor. 5 fingers together. You'll press thumb into the index finger. There's 3 parts to awkward. So this first part, you'll stretch the fingertips forward, suck stomach in, and you'll sit down. Hips back behind you, like you're trying to put a butt print on the wall behind you. This one, you'll keep all the weight back into your heels. Tendency is to let the weight creep forward because it feels easier, but it's going to feel a little unstable to bring the hips back, and that's good. It's good for the ankles there, and eventually hips will come even more down. And then you'll lift chest up and bend your spine. It's a good spot, a bend for the spine. Keep sucking stomach in, stretching fingertips forward, and lean back like you're trying to fall down backwards. Good. Come back up, guys. Next is going to be the second part. You'll come high on your toes like a ballerina, as high as you can. For this one, spine is going to stay straight, tailbone pushing down. So stomach in, take a deep breath, and you sit halfway into a chair. You stay high on top of the toes for this one. Keep pressing ankle bones forward, and keep pushing tailbone down. So from the side, spine is going to be perfectly straight, like you're leaning against the wall. Eventually you'll sit all the way down until thighs parallel, and you'll keep pressing ankle bones forward. Come higher on the toes. Okay. Come back up. Then we'll do the third part. Come up a little on the toes, just an inch or two. Bring the knees together. So you squeeze inner thighs, pull stomach in, and you slowly go down. This one, spine stays straight again, all the way down. You can even slide down the wall. Keep squeezing thighs. And if you need to stop, like here, that's great. It's good holding. Eventually, there's just going to be half-inch gap hips and heels. You'll squeeze knees and push knees down. Yes. So if there's a ball in your lap, the ball would roll off your lap. Just keep spine straight in the center. Keep stomach pulled in, chest lifted. Good. It'll come up the exact same way, nice and slow. You push down, squeeze, and stretch all the way back up. Bring your feet back. That's awkward. We're going to do equal posture next, which is good for the joints. So bring arms over your head. Swing the right arm under your left. Press first at the elbows and then at the wrist. It's okay if you don't get the wrist. You can be right here and keep pushing your left elbow down into right elbow. It's a good stretch for the upper spine and the shoulders here. You'll suck stomach in and you'll sit just like awkward. Hips go back, chest lifts up. So you can't keep the knees from coming forward. Knees will come over the heels. Lift chest again, and wrap right leg high up and over left leg. We'll cross high at the knee, and then maybe at the ankle. If you don't get the ankle today, that's okay. You'll keep sitting down low to start to press into the joints. Keep the weight back into your heels. When you get that, you'll lift chest up and bend your spine. Pull elbows down. Yeah, look, Mike wrapped his foot. He'll keep sitting lower and lower. And this is balancing, so you might fall out, and that's okay. You just hop back in, try again. That's how you're going to get better at doing these kinds of things. Good. Come back up. Next, we're going to do standing boat pulling pose. We already did it in a previous video, but this one's going to have a little bit different focus. Same form, of course. So feet together. You'll reach your left arm up, palm facing forward. Turn right thumb out. Reach back. Pick up the foot inside of the ankle. So knees touch to start. And the focus for this one, for this sequence, is going to be your standing leg. Standing leg, stay straight. So there's no micro bend to the knee, no soft kneecap. It's actually a contracted leg, so kneecap will lift up. You squeeze the quadricep and keep pressing your big toe down to the floor. So take a deep breath, stretch up, guys, and you stretch forward. Keep pushing the shoulder forward along the jawline, like we talked about. Keep pushing the other shoulder back, and you kick. Use the standing leg to start to drive the posture. Foot will come over top of your head. As you bring body down, keep the weight forward. So you're still contracting your standing leg, keeping you balanced, and keep breathing. Okay, come back up. Next, we're going to do standing separate leg stretching pose. Good backside body stretching. So feet together, bring your arms over your head. Step to your right, it's about 4 feet step, and bring your arms down parallel to the floor. Turn your toes in so they're slightly pigeon toe, and already bring the weight forward into your toes. So suck stomach in, lift up, and you bend forward at the hips. Keep the weight in your toes. So even more, Mike, hips come forward. And it's going to feel like you're going to somersault forward. That's a really good sensation for this one. Once you can't come down anymore, then you'll grab your heels. You'll step on your fingers. And maybe today you can't grab your heels. That's okay. You can bend your knees. Maybe you can only grab the outside of the feet. Maybe you can only grab the fronts of your toes. And that's okay. You'll feel stretching here, and that's what you're going for. So once you get the fingers hooked under your feet, you're going to roll the weight forward into your toes, and you're going to get that somersaulting feeling again. That's good. As your toes press down, your hips lift up to the ceiling, and you'll feel stretching on the back side of your body here. It's good. Contract your thighs as the hips press up. At the same time, you'll start to press the spine down. So eventually in this posture, spine will straighten, legs will straighten, and the whole backside body will stretch. But first, you're really going to start to feel it in the back of your legs. Good. Come back up. So feet together, arms overhead, and arms down side. Next, we're going to do standing separate leg head to knee pose. It's a really good hip strengthening, hip opening, also back leg stretching. So feet together, guys. Bring your arms over your head. Only cross your thumbs, hands in prayer. And step to your right. It's about 3.5, 4 foot distance. So if you have a yardstick, this is a good chance for it. It's as big as a yardstick, even bigger, especially if you're taller than 5.5, 6 feet. It's big. You'll turn on your heels to face the front, right side. Just do both sides. As you're here, your back foot will be at a 45-degree angle, and from here you'll press left hip forward. Till eventually hips are going to be on one line and your inner thighs might even touch. You'll squeeze the inner thighs there so to build that strength there. Tuck chin down the chest, you stretch up, and you round down. Arms press the head down, and you keep pressing this left hip forward, because tendency is to let the hip open, and you're not getting as much strengthening there. As you keep squeezing all the way down, eventually fingertips touch. And if you need to bend your knee to let fingertips touch, that's okay. So hands are right in front of your foot, arms are straight, forehead will eventually touch your knee. You keep tucking chin into chest. This is front side compression, back side stretching. It's also a really good stretch for the IT bands. So you're going to strengthen through the inner thighs. Also a good stretch for the back of the legs, the Achilles, the calf right there. And you're holding yourself in posture by squeezing those muscles. Pull stomach in, press belly button into your spine. Good. We'll slowly come back up, same way. Keep pushing left hip forward as you come up. Keeping that good alignment of your hips. Good. You'll turn to the side, make sure your step is nice and wide, and then turn to the other side. So, with feet together nicely, you'll shift the weight to your left foot and grab the right foot from underneath. So this is going to be a little bit more, maybe hips, depending on you. You'll lift the foot high and let the foot come in. And it's okay if the knee has to come up. If you're like this is okay. Once the foot feels good, you'll grab the foot and slowly let the knee come down. You're going to feel a stretch. You could feel it in a lot of places. You could feel it the outside of the hips. You could feel it in the knee. Some people feel in the ankle, and that's okay. You keep pushing your tailbone down. Tendency is to let the butt drop back, because you can kind of let your foot rest there, and it'll hang there. But it's not this posture. You keep pushing tailbone down, squeezing inner thighs, and eventually the knee will come right down underneath you. Okay, change. Next, we're going to move to the floor for starting to warm up the knees to get deeper into them. Next, we're going to do half tortoise pose. So in a kneel down position, pull your ankle bones together. So tendency is to let the feet splay open like that. Instead of doing that, pull the ankles together so one day ankles will touch. Bring your arms over your head. Cross thumbs, hands in prayer. So this one, you keep pushing tailbone down. It almost feels like tailbone tucked. Stomach in and chest up, so spine is straight to start. And you'll stretch forward, using core strength to lower body down, taking your time. Eventually, forehead will touch the floor, and then your hands. Okay. So this one, bring your hands together, all the way up to the wrist. So arms are out, elbows are straight. Elbows off the floor, even wrists off the floor, so it's just knife side touching the floor. Hips will pull back to your heels, and shoulders will push forward to the front near, so it's a good backside spine stretching, and eventually your forehead will touch the floor, eventually your hips will touch the heels. Eventually. If you're not quite there yet, good way to get into it, maybe first set, you'll focus on pushing forehead down to the floor, letting the hips come up a little bit, and then second set, you can focus on the opposite, pulling the hips down, not worrying about the head as much. So eventually, it comes together. So come back up, same straight spine all the way up, using core strength to lift. Good. Arms down side. We're going to move on to camel pose. Camel pose, good for opening up the hips. So stand up on the knees. Hip width distance between the hands and between the knees and the feet. Rob, I'm going to have you turn to the side so you can see your spine. So hip width distance, hands and knees and feet. Hands to the lower spine, fingers down. You pull the wrist in and lift the hands high. So you're going to almost puff up the chest. Take a deep breath. Hips forward, chest up, and just start to look. Maybe you only look up, and that's where you can go. That's great. Eventually, you're going to use the eyes to bend the spine more and more, till eventually you might even see midway down the back wall. Then you'll bring your hands down one at a time, first the right, then the left, without letting the hips drop back. Tendency is to let the hips come back so you can grab your heels and you think this looks cool. This is a lot of tension on your knees, and you don't want to do that. You keep pressing the hip bones forward, and maybe you don't grab your heels. That's okay. To safely come out of this posture, you'll bring your hands to your feet, or hands to your hips, and stack your spine back up. Okay? Next, we're going to do rabbit pose. So you'll sit down on your knees and feet touch, and once again, you'll pull the ankles together. You'll reach back, grab your heels with the same hands in camel, just sliding down the back side to grab your heels, and your hips might be in the way, that's okay. You'll tuck chin down to chest, take a deep breath, and round down. You round all the way down to let forehead touch your knees, keeping your hips down. You'll tighten the grip on your heels. Once forehead and knees touch, then you'll roll forward and lift your hips. Keep your feet pressing down. So if you tight ankles like Mike here, they might pop up, but you keep pressing the feet down, pulling the ankles together, and you keep that grip on your heels, because if the grip slides, you're no longer moving the spine. You'll lift the hips up as high as you can, so one day hips come over the knees, but it's a really good backside body stretching, and there's only a little bit of weight in the head. You're never jamming your head into the floor. It's pretty dangerous for the neck. Just a light brush of the head. Keep pressing feet and knees and hands down. Good. So let's come back up, guys. Next, we're going to do fixed firm posture. So we've been warming up to this because this is actually getting really deep into the ankles, into the knees. So you'll start with knees and feet touching. Bring your hands in front of your knees. Separate your feet wider than your hips, with your toes pointing straight back behind you. Tendency is to let the feet go out, and that's really dangerous for the knees. So you slowly let the hips come down between your heels. And from here, if your hips don't touch the floor yet, you can open up your knees wider. That's okay. Maybe your hips still don't touch the floor. You're going to lean forward into your hands to keep that compression and to keep the gravity pulling on your hips, and you're pressing through the ankles, you're pressing through the knees. If your hips do touch the floor, you can bring your hands on your feet, and you can slowly lower down one elbow at a time. Eventually, you'll actually be laying on the floor like this. Eventually. May not be here today. You may not be there today, and that's okay. You may just be sitting up like this. But this is a good posture to hold for 30, 60 seconds. Hold it just to let the joints start to press. Good. We'll come back out of this posture, and then we'll finish this sequence with another spine twist. Really good for resetting the body. So you'll bend we'll do left side. Left leg in front of you. So bring your left heel to your right hip. Bring your right foot over the left knee and touch the heel at your knee corner. Glue it down as an anchor point. You reach your left arm up, bring it over your knee. Reach down, either grab, or like I said, if you want something to hold on, like a mat, that'd be great, just to get something to grip. We'll take an inhale, lift up, and reach your arm out and behind you. And if you find yourself falling all over the place, it's okay to leave a hand by your hip to keep the chest up. Eventually, you'll grab the inner thigh, and you'll turn your spine all the way around. Keep pressing your right hip bone down so both butt cheeks sit flat to the floor. Good. And then do the other side to keep everything equal. And we're going to end this sequence with a savasana. So savasana is laying on your back on the floor. Seems really simple, but it can be kind of hard. So the heels touch, feet fall open, arms are closed, palms face up. And you focus on the breathing. It's a slow breath. When you end the sequence in savasana, the whole body can return to natural circulation. So all the compression that you created in class, in the sequence, will start to rush through the body, specifically the joints that you compressed. And with this rushing the circulation, you're going to improve the circulation. You're going to improve the circulation through the joints, reduce inflammation, flood the area with oxygen so the joint can heal better, getting better range of motion for you. Nice job, guys.
I hope you enjoyed our yoga sequence today, targeting those knees and ankles, often a problem area for us ultimate players. And a huge thanks to Kate and the rest of the Yoga Factory here in Pittsburgh for helping us lead through these movements. Be sure to check out all 3 episodes of the yoga series for ultimate players, and we'll catch you next Wednesday on another episode of the Rodu video series.